All right, first of all, I'll tell you the story about the Sefer Torah of Rav Meir Rottenberg. The Mahar'al of Rottenberg, that's what's called the Mahar'al of Rottenberg, Rabbi Meir of Rottenberg. Rabbi Meir, this story happened, wait, I don't know. I think it happened like about 600 years ago, something like that. There was a leader of the Jewish, of the non-Jews, a big baron or whatever he was, a duke or something. And he needed money. He needed money for his various endeavors and ventures. So he taxed the Jews, and it was very difficult to get the money from the Jews. So he decided on a full. Somebody advised him. He'd kidnapped the rabbi. He kidnapped Rabbi Meir of Rottenberg. Now, this Rabbi Meir of Rottenberg, he was an incredibly holy person. He knew the whole entire Torah by heart, tremendously devoted to learning and to teaching and to helping people. And they put him into prison. So he forbade them. And so he demanded, the Duke or whatever, he demanded an exorbitant amount of money. And Mayor Rottenberg advertised, told his people that not to pay. It was too much. Too much. If they paid this exorbitant amount of money, how much he wanted, I don't know, $1 million, $10 million. But if you pay this, then every couple of months he's going to kidnap somebody else, and he's going to encourage other people to kidnap. So he forbade them to redeem him. He forbade them. But this Duke always hoped that maybe the people would recant. So he would allow his pupils to come in to him once in a while and visit him. They would visit him maybe for the prayers or whatever, I don't know, but they would visit him. No, not for the prayers. They would visit him, and maybe he would teach them something for a short amount of time. He allowed them to come in like once a week or whatever, once a month. And it was just to see that he was all right, that he was healthy. And then the hope that, they could save him, they could this, and that they would give him money. But each time he exhorted them not to pay the ransom. And in the end, they didn't pay the ransom, and he died in prison. And someone came and ransomed his bones, which for much, of course, less price. It could be that Duke already died, whatever it was, and what are they going to do with his bones? So in any case, this is what's happening before he died. The Mahar'm of Rottenberg was a very holy person, and he knew the whole Torah by heart. And he would sit all day and he would go over his learning. But one thing he had tremendous regrets about was that he did not have a Sefer Torah to read from. A Sefer Torah, a Torah scroll, especially to read on Shabbat. A Torah scroll that he would be able to read from on Shabbat, so he could fulfill the commandment of reading the Torah portion on Shabbat, which since Moses received the Torah, Moses instituted by the Jewish people that they should read the Torah every Shabbat, and one portion. They divided up into 52 portions, and one different portion to read it. So therefore, by the way, anyone who tells you the Jewish people lost the Torah, now they have a different Torah, so you can tell them that they are wrong, that they're liars, and that they're fools, because the Jewish people have been reading the Torah non-stop for 3,300 years. And if you go into synagogue, we're talking about a regular, normal synagogue where they read the Torah. If the reader makes a mistake, then he is not allowed to, the congregation is more than willing and joyously corrects him. Right? Everybody's reading along. But if you make he reads a little mistake, he leaves out a vav, he leaves out of this, an I, he says an E instead of a U instead of this. Everyone says I, E, U. Right? They say it in a nice way, they correct them, but no, you can't get by. So the Torah has been read nonstop since Moses. And none of that's been read actually 3 times a week. All right, but the whole Torah, anyway. So the Mahar'm of Rottenberg was very, very pained that he did not have a Sefer Torah. Well, there came an angel from heaven and said that Moses wrote 11 Sefer Torahs for all of the tribes and kept 1 Sefer Torah for himself. And we are willing to give you the Sefer Torah from heaven. It's been decided that you, because you're suffering also for Judaism and you're a great person, we're going to give you that Sefer Torah. Every Shabbat, you are going to read the Sefer Torah, and all of the celestial, the souls that are up in heaven, they're going to hear your Torah reading. And so it was every Friday. And so what happened? So he was given this Sefer Torah. They gave him the Torah. There he was, an actual, physical, real Torah made with letters on parchment. And he kept this somehow or other. He made a box or he kept it in his room. And he would read every Shabbat. When he would read on Shabbat, so he would feel that the room was filled up with this incredible holiness. And that he just didn't, as much as he didn't pay attention, he just read the Torah and he felt the whole world was glowing with light and no one came close to the room. And that's the way it went for a while. Anyway, so he started to worry that maybe the Sefer Torah will get lost. Not only that, the Sefer Torah was exact. It was the Sefer Torah that Moses wrote. And through the generations, how was the Torah passed down? There was no the cameras or machines that could duplicate. They had to be duplicated by scribes. And in the time, there was 1 or 2 letters that there's a question if it was an aleph or an ayin or a hey, whatever. Anyway, so he got permission from God that he could copy the Torah down. So he told his pupils, and his pupils, whenever they would come in, they would smuggle into him ink with a pen with parchment. And sure enough, in the course of time, he finished the Torah. Now he had 2 Sefer Torahs. And as soon as he finished it, he went to sleep. The next Shabbat, he woke up to read the Torah from heaven, and it wasn't there. Or maybe he woke up in the morning and the Torah wasn't there. And he said, they thought maybe he did some sin. Maybe he shouldn't have written it down. And they came from him in heaven. Maybe it was Moses himself. I don't remember this detail. He said, you did a very good thing. And now we took the Sefer Torah back up into heaven. And it's up in now this whole idea of being in heaven, and there's a physical Sefer Torah and physical Sefer Torah, this is, remains to be understood. But suffice it to say that not just the Sefer Torah is physical in heaven. It says the whole entire 3rd temple is physically in heaven. It's physical. It's an actual building. I'm not an architect, but I imagine it weighs, like, let's say 100 million tons. If there's any architects among you, you can correct me or something. So let's say for our purposes, 100 million tons, but that's pretty heavy. In any case, a huge building, and it's going to be bigger than the 1st and the 2nd temples, is actually ready in heaven just to be manifested in the world. Now, it has not been detected by radar or sonar or by any R's. It just is. How it is, what state it's in, I don't know. It's like the dead are going to raise up. It's like they say the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he's still alive. He's alive. How was he alive? Just like the 3rd temple is alive, the Rebbe is alive, the Sefer Torah by it's alive. And we don't know what reality is. We don't know. Okay, that's only the beginning of the story. This is what I told you. This Sefer Torah, that was the one that he read every Friday, every Shabbat, for the people, for the souls in heaven. He wrote. Okay, so he felt his end was coming to it, is nearing. So this prison where he was kept in like a tower. and it was overlooking the river, the Rhine River, Thames River, whatever river there was. What river runs through? What city was he kept in? He was in Rottenberg, could be. Anyway, so the river ran underneath the window, and it was a rapid river, and everything was far down. So he took this Sefer Torah that he had, and he felt that this was side. What does that mean? What does that mean? What, that wasn't being recorded? I don't understand what happened. All right, we'll see. All of a sudden, I got a message that's now being recorded. Before it wasn't being recorded. All right, but this is, I don't get what's going on.